I don't think Ellie ever showed you like what I used to look like in high school. Like Edward, listen, I got called Edward Cullen a lot, or Twilight in high school because I looked like Robert Pattinson in those movies. Even though I did. That look, no.
You lived in
First,
Seattle.
first off, fuck you. Second off,
No.
second
hold
off,
on.
I did. Listen, I
Microphone
looked like
up.
that and I had my hair like that before that shiny ass vampire boy ever went on a television screen. And no one gave a shit. And then those movies came out, and then all of a sudden I was handsome, and all of a sudden it was.
I am so never letting you live this shit down.
I'm sure you're not.
The views, thoughts, and expressions of the show are purely satire and do not reflect the host's employer or any associated parties pertaining to the hosts. This is a joke of a show. Do not take this show serious. We are idiots.
NFA is the podcast of the day. Got a cowboy and a witch and two nerds that don't play. They talking about things that make your mind afraid. No censor, they're here to slay. They ride through the airwaves, kicking up dust, covering topics that others might cuss. Get ready for all opinions, no fuss. Cowboy, witch and nerds, you better trust.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the NFA Network. My name is Zaga, and this week we have a very, very special Asian episode. Yes, we're bringing more Asians back on, and I couldn't do this without bringing a fellow Caucasian along because 75% of this cast is Caucasian. So we got to have equal representation here. So we got the very popular, the only reason why you motherfuckers are even watching, Mr. Copperhead. How you doing, sir?
I think you undercredit yourself, but that's beside the point.
These motherfuckers don't watch me for me. I look like
They love you. They love you.
to an extent. It's only because I pander my fans. I would make a great politician, by the way, but more into that later. This week, I had to bring somebody of equal fame along with me because I was a little nervous. Not going to lie. This is the first time I was actually nervous to interview somebody because I'm an actual fan of this guy. I found him on TikTok, and as an Asian, you just know other Asians for whatever. You just know all the famous Asians. I think it's a Filipino thing. We're very insecure about our Asianness. But this man has 3.4 million followers on TikTok, 156 million likes as well. That's a lot. That's a lot more than I can even pay for that much.
Also,
oh wait, I didn't even introduce you yet.
I finally reached 100,000 on Insta.
I was actually
dude.
That.
Hell
All right,
yeah.
well, some of y'all might
Hell
know
yeah.
him as Fa Mulan. Some know him as Jeremy. Some know him as Sojaru. Everyone only knows him as the angry Asian rice guy. What's going on, pal?
She.
Yeah, I got the applause. I like the applause, right?
Sweet Jesus.
I'm getting good at it.
Cheese and
But
rice.
welcome to the show, my man. Like I said, I am a fan of yours. Being an Asian and not looking Asian, I try to overdo the Asianness. Hence why the Filipino tribal all over my arm.
What a simp.
Yes, pure sim for the Asian culture. However, thank you seriously for coming on the show. I know this is actually very, very, very long overdue. We planned to do this about a year ago.
Yeah.
Then there was a casting change within the show, and
I got replaced.
well, no, my co-host.
No, you did not
You
get
didn't.
replaced on me.
Copper, Nick, and my wife replaced somebody else. Let me upgrade you. Oh, I'm talking. I think
Upgrades, baby, upgrades.
in the world of
Baby, you
beef
can
right
have
now,
whatever you
might as well
want.
keep more beef going, right? Now, first and foremost, I just want to say you do look like my cousin, and that's so racist to say because being Asian, I feel like that's fucked up. But my cousin, all got the same haircut, same facial features, same kind of patchy facial hair.
Same birthmark up the butthole.
Well, I mean, is this breaking news? Are we going to get a special OnlyFans segment right now?
No.
I must
Don't
confirm.
do it.
I can confirm.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
Listen. They have asked me for an OnlyFans for a very long time, and I ain't doing it. I need someone else to be strong with me. Don't fucking do it.
Dude, like I have a couple friends, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. People that are like they think that it's like the easy way out. It's not. It isn't.
Dude, that's a lot of fucking. Like,
It's also a lot of like you need a whole team to work that. Like you need like a whole fucking
at like that high level. Yeah.
I just feel like that's an excessive amount of fucking and masturbation, though. Because like if you like think about it for
but it's not all that though.
Yeah, it's some of them are just feet. Some of them are just pictures, and all that is just it's the hardcore people that go like the fucking and the yeah.
All right, well, you I know you were trying to schedule this for the last 2 months now. I think you were down in Maryland, and I still don't know. You said why you were down there, because the only things I know that were from fucking Maryland is Logic, and I think the Ravens. I don't even consider that Maryland, because that's like
blue crabs.
I've never had a Maryland crab.
You're not really missing much. And they're good. They're good, but I'd rather have like crab legs. I had my first seafood boil, and that thing was.
You've never had a seafood boil?
Oh no!
Oh, you gotta go to New Orleans, brother. That's where the.
No, that's. We're thinking about that.
I throw it around my ball. Get yourself down to Louisiana. Have yourself some good seafood.
Can you talk like that lightning bug from the Princess and the Frog? One of my
name Raymond, but everybody call me
Ray. Yeah. They have like a different language, right? Or like it's very like
so down in Louisiana.
Short.
So down in Louisiana, there's and like for the record, not everybody in Louisiana sounds Cajun. Not everybody in Louisiana sounds Cajun, but this is where like the Cajun part of me comes from. I say Cajun because like it's a very small, relatively off branch of like my heritage and my family, but they come from Acadians that essentially up in Canada went south, and there's the French influence. So Cajun, or some people call it Cajun Creole. I've always just heard it called Cajun. There's a lot of French that gets thrown in there. That's why when you hear things like, écouillon, we go get cassé, or fédodo, or stuff like that, it's all French. But it's almost, it's not comparable to like Haitian Creole, because they're, again, entirely different languages, but they're things that are a regional dialect based off French. So.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Sure.
Why the fuck are you on my show? We are a group of potheads. You are way too smart for this. You are a walking fucking. You are Wikipedia. I'm not even.
You know what? I guarantee you. I guarantee you. I can be as smart all as I want. This is the internet. I guarantee you. There's gonna be some couillon in the comments who's gonna be like, "Bro, you ain't never been in Louisiana. I can tell you all the reason right now. You ain't that."
Because you paler than Casper, man. Like,
yeah, you are.
Listen, all I know is that I know Louisiana based off my time in Louisiana and the very, 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 very distant family that I have in Louisiana who I ain't talked to in about 5 years. So,
but yeah, like, unfortunately, like, I'm Korean. Koreans are known to be able to handle their spice.
Perfect. That was actually my next. That was actually going to be my first. No joke on my list here. My first question was, what brand of Asian are you? So I'm glad you answered it for me. That makes it easy.
I'm not the spice brand Asian. Like,
no.
I love spicy food. I like spicy food that tastes good. If it's spicy and it tastes good, I'll endure it and I'll enjoy it. That's what happened with the seafood boil. It was spicy, delicious. I kept on going even though my lips were burning. Now, like...
I felt that down in my nombre.
One of my friends got that instant ramen, like ghost pepper chili thing. It smelled like ass. It smelled like ass, and he's like, it tasted like shit. And I was just like, that's the kind of spicy food I do not like. I stay away from that. But everyone's like, you can't handle your spice. You're Korean. Oh, you so failure. And I'm like, But if anything, I would fall under. If going back to the original question, what Asian am I? What subcategory of Asian I would fall under? Maybe like probably foodie, and maybe a lifting kind of.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Again, one of my reasons I said you look just like my cousin. My cousin's a power lifter. Like, he does competitions and shit. He has the man bun, and it's dyed blonde. And then you guys have the same facial hair, because I did some research on you, so we'll get into it. But I've seen old photos when you tried to grow your facial hair out. It's the same pattern as his.
Oh, he's a pube face. That's why I have two older brothers, and they're like, the oldest brother can grow a beard. The other one can kind of, and then they're looking at me and they're like, when did you get that? I'm like, just now. They're like, I'm like, freaking A. And they're like, hey, puke face. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, see, this is my Italian genes right here. Is like, because I'm Filipino and Italian. So these are my Italian genes because nobody in my family can grow facial hair. Like my cousin, he is the exact little mustache that does not really connect in the middle, and then your little circle that's right there. And it's a perfect circle. Like he doesn't even have to trim it, line it up. It's impressive. Mm-hmm. So I want to start the interview though, and I do want to ask you, obviously you're known for washing the rice and doing the video and reacting to people who don't wash the rice. How did that become your thing? Like, how did that start?
Dude, I think that started back like early COVID.
Mm-hmm. It was August 8th of 2020 was your first video, by the way. I did some research. I take my interviewing very seriously. It's like stalking, but worse.
Well, fuck! Man,
you just had that complete fucking nutty moment of like...
Yeah, your first Instagram post was 567 weeks.
Fuck!
Just to make you feel old. I don't know how old you are, but now to make you feel old, that was your first Instagram post.
Cheese and rice. But like that all started because like I did like anime streams at the beginning.
I remember them.
Yeah, and then I think one of them was like it was the Kennys from Attack on Titan scream.
Yes.
Levi yells out Kenny like, yeah, and then there's a R roll in Kenny.
Yeah.
And it does not make any sense. But that did well. And then from there, I was just trying different things. Like a lot of trial and error. And then I think it just happened to come across one of the predecessors to the washing the rice was, I forget where they had it, but there's this big bucket of like fried rice. And I just reacted to it.
I actually remember that one.
I was just like, sweet Sonia, where did you get that giant bucket of fried? And then the rice just goes.
I will never forget one of your earliest videos that for some reason always stuck out in my head because like it's funny. So being Irish, like the Irish are not really known for saying I love you a lot. Like my dad does and stuff like that, but like my father, Nana, when she was still alive. Like anytime you'd be like, all right, Nana, I love you. She'd be like, okay, honey. Like she didn't say it back a lot. Wonderful woman. I miss her every day. But it's the one where, but it's the one where the kid's like, I think he was saying it in like Chinese or Korean, where it keeps saying I love you, and the dad like just won't say it back. He's just like, yeah, what do you want? And you were like, Oppa, Shinomiya, Sanohe, Shinomiya, Sanohe. Kept trying to tell him. I'm curious, was he in on that, or was that just like cold take? That was his honest reaction.
I gave him a heads up.
Okay, you did. All right.
I gave him a little bit of heads up. I'm just like, I'm gonna record this, and he's just like, and I'm like, he's like, I'm like, oh shit. But I actually like been very fortunate. I've been very fortunate to grow up in a household that stereotype. I know that stereotype, but. Mm-hmm. In my household, that stereotype was like, no. Like my father and mother, my mother more than my father. My father would say it, but I'd be like, kind of like,
push it a little bit, yeah.
But like he would do things or like say it in a different way, which I understood. But like when I hear other people, they're just like, my father said he never says he loves me, and I'm like, that's nice. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I can't relate, but I'll try.
No, same thing. In our household, it's a very loving household, but at the same time, it's not like we don't have to say it every 5 seconds kind of thing. Because I've been in some households where like it's all the time,
I love you. No, I love you. No, I love you.
Yeah, I don't know. If
I love you fucking more.
I don't know if Filipinos are just different because every Filipino family I've ever met, they're very, very open about the loving. Maybe that's the Spanish influence that they've had, that's had on.
I'd probably say so, yeah.
Because I know that is a stereotype, but I never understood it because Filipinos are always love everything. Please, when you meet an older person, you have to like put their hand on your forehead. Just still don't understand how that. It's like you're not even doing anything. Like I understand kissing the ring, but I don't get that.
I'm not laughing at you.
Oh,
your
just
wife
responded to me.
Your wife just texted.
She said no.
No. The answer is no.
Well, she said no to me as well.
Yep. Y'all two go ahead.
Oh, and for those of you who don't, because if you guys didn't miss that part,
I love you.
Just so you guys know, in high school, Copper was everyone compared him to Edward from fucking Twilight, and his sparkly white skin. And the best part is he lived in Seattle for a little bit.
It wasn't even the sparkly white skin; it was the hair that I did before the movies ever came out, and nobody gave a shit.
No. Are you a vampire? Yes.
If you've never seen Twilight, that was the whole 3 movies wrapped up in about 3 seconds.
You're welcome. I saved you.
You just saved them about 5 hours of their life.
Yes, it's not a good read. That's a hard watch too. All right,
Rami Malek wasn't bad in it though.
Who?
Rami Malek.
Who the fuck did he play? I only remember him as a mummy.
You ever watch Mr. Robot?
Oh, yeah, he was in it. He was
that guy. Yep. Yeah, and that's one of the weird things. That's one of the things where like, wait, when the fuck was he in those movies? And you go back and watch it, and everyone's like,
I've seen clips. I've never watched Twilight, but I just see clips.
I didn't see him all the way either. I just know that he was in that. But like, he was in that, Mr. Robot, The Pacific, did great in that.
Not at the museum.
Mm-hmm.
He was the Pharaoh. That's what I remember him from.
He was a good Pharaoh.
That's not him. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
He was a good Pharaoh.
Oh, I forgot. Oh,
not the one like I am back to life. Yeah. Pretty sure he does some voices on The Simpsons.
If you reach ever and touch this, I will kill you right now. I will kill you now. Do not cross this line with your hand.
So, Jeremy, now obviously so I had to scroll quite a bit to get down to the very first video.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
I am so actually I do that sometimes too, just to like look back on the crit. Oh,
it's I do that with my own pictures. Now, obviously, you do post a lot. Is this your full-time job, or do you still work full-time as well?
So I used to work at Costco.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work at Costco distribution. I was part of the meat department, and little does everybody know, but I was forklift certified.
Oh, shit!
I was forklift certified. I was a clamper. I was in the meat department. I would clamp meat, and we would distribute it to the corresponding Costco numbers all around. So I used to work there, and Costco. If anyone works at Costco, if you ever worked at Costco, the benefits are amazing. It pays well, it does well, but I'd say I was just like balancing that with social media and all that. So I was getting kind of drained, but I was just like, okay, freaking. When when it came to 2023, I think I was working at Costco during COVID till 2022 or 2020. Yeah. 2023 is when I went full send. I went full, full-time influencer, social media. It's also been draining, but at the same time, it's paying, it's doing well. It's doing decently well. That I'm content. I'm happy. But yeah.
You're
especially over this past year, between the algorithm getting all fucked up, everything, even in general, I don't know if you remember, this was not this past January, but January before, last year, where it was weird because it was right after that congressional hearing, and views just took a freaking nosedive.
I think I do remember a dry spurt.
Right?
It was really annoying.
And I remember that my views were going wicked down, and I was like, shit, what am I doing wrong here? And then I remember I went and I looked up you, Wheezy, everybody, and I noticed that everybody's was kind of going down, and I was like, oh, so this is not a me thing. Now, everything that was Pedro Pascal or a hot teenage girl was shooting up just fine.
But, Daddy Pascal. I'm not going to complain about that.
Right.
No. But also with this year, that. Everyone's been like, dude, how do you feel about the TikTok ban? And I'm like, is it? I look at my phone, I open TikTok, it's still up.
Yeah.
When is this? They've been trying for years now, and I'm just
I was going to ask you guys about this because I know it's impending. Like, we don't know what's kind of going to happen with it. Is it really going to be banned? I don't think it will, just knowing enough laws. I mean, TikTok's suing the U.S. government right now over this shit. So then they can't go through with that until the lawsuit's over with. So it can be pushed back for years. And at that point, TikTok like another app that everyone can fucking go to.
Right.
But if it does get banned, if there is something that goes on, like what's going to go, like, you guys starting to figure out a plan with your managers or anything like that? Or, I mean, I'm not famous enough to do that. I still work fucking 60 hours a week. So it's all, like, I'm not.
I mean, you have a much bigger, more active platform than I do. So I'd get your answer first. Cause
I'm actually right now trying to get into voice acting.
Oh, no shit. You too?
Yeah, that shit's
nice. No.
It's kind of like it's a huge pond, and I'm trying to fish, but all the fish I'm trying to like it's a huge pond that everyone's fishing in, and I'm like, oh shit. At the same time, I also I need to start building my YouTube. I've been building my Instagram, so if TikTok does get banned, I kind of have my Instagram to fall back on,
right?
But not like wholeheartedly. So I'm like, if anything happens, I have my other social platforms I need to start building now to fortify for the reckoning. But yeah, all my friends are being supportive and they're like, you have the talent, you just need to apply yourself. And I'm like, I'm a lazy piece of shit. They're like, yeah, you are. Get it together.
I wouldn't even say that it's it's a not applying yourself thing. There is an amount of applying yourself in there, but the problem is that there is also so much of you can do something that takes you an entire day to get done, filmed, edited, this, that, and it goes nowhere.
I hate it.
And then you can do something in 5 minutes, and
I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
So. And I definitely get you on that because I need to start building up the YouTube and the Insta. You said you just hit 100K, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And that's the funny thing. A lot of people don't understand that. Millions on TikTok does not translate to millions over on Instagram or YouTube. I think on my YouTube right now, which I haven't touched in a little bit because I try to keep that for the longer form stuff in between school, the military, other things I got going on. I haven't really been able to do that yet. I need to get back to it. Kind of like what you were saying, start building those now so that when/if things fall, it's not like, oh shit, now what do I do? But even towards the voice acting thing, right now we're in the middle of the Dark Star competition for audiobook narration.
Oh shit.
And voting just dropped today. But we got that going on
today. Go vote for this motherfucker. Go to his Facebook page, just post right up on there.
If you go on the website, there's a whole link to Dark Star. Do not just vote for me de facto. Listen to everybody's excerpts.
Lies.
You actually did best.
Vote for him only, or I will find you and drown you in the rice.
I'm a poor man's politician.
What? I'm sorry. All I can fucking picture is that someone votes for me, votes for Blanca, and then votes for someone else, and all of a sudden you just hear, "Welcome to the rice fields, mother."
Welcome to the rice fields, mother. Dude, I didn't watch too much of Filthy Frank. I just see clips, but my mind was blown. When he was like, "It's Joji," and I'm like, "Holy shit, he did it right. He did it right."
Ravioli. But yeah, no. So I mean, we've got that. Myself and Blanca have our my first audiobook. She's done audiobooks before, but my first audiobook that we actually have in the process to start doing, which is awesome. EMT school is about to wrap up. I finally have a shot at fire department, actually local. Obviously still doing the Army thing. So there's all these different avenues that are there. What I will say is that I'm not so much pulling away from TikTok, already prepping for it to go down. For me, a lot of it has been trying to think how to word it. There's always going to be ways to make money.
Yeah.
Right. There's always going to be ways to make money.
Unconsciously, you're prepping yourself. I feel like you're doing it, but you're not oh, I'm doing this because it's for me.
Yes. So let me ask you, how many times have you gotten messages from people saying that you've made them laugh when they didn't think they could anymore, or you've brightened their day up when everything was all jacked up and wrong?
Honestly, I don't check too many of my TikTok messages, but I do occasionally just do the whole see if there's anything that's and then there are the few that are like, oh my gosh, thank you, your content makes me happy, or I look through the comments on certain videos and that's what they say. A lot of people have the misconception that my DMs are loaded, and I'm like, they're not loaded. And they're like, but you're so good looking, dude. You should be getting all that. I'm like, you can check my DMs, man. It's bare. It's a dry and wasteland.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't, because half the time, either I'm just I don't know, but I'm just don't put me at that pedestal of thinking that I'm one of those guys that have the DMs blowing up. I'm like, no. It's not.
I get the same, man. I get the same. I got people like, oh, bro, the amount of girls who must be in your DMs, bro. I'm like, honestly, not really. I mean, a lot of the DMs I do get, I would say about 80% of them, honestly, are, hey, just want to let you know I've been going through a rough time and you've made me laugh, or you've made this and this better, or I just went through a breakup, or a lot of these things. A lot of them are thank you messages. And for me, that's a big part of why I do it, because it's like you said, it's a thing for us, but it's not a money, this and this and that. What can I do to make more? What can I do this and this and that? You're putting out something that not only is a creative outlet for us, but makes other people's lives just that little bit sweeter, or at least less shitty.
But the money helps.
But the money helps. I can tell you were waiting on it too. I literally saw you do the whole.
And if you order now in the next 5 minutes, you can get the.
I was gonna say, I was like, listen, man, you know how many times, how hard it is. I work at a car dealership. I'm a general sales manager, right? So I gotta go out and talk to these people and pretend that I'm really trying to help them, and all I want them to do is just buy a fucking car so I can pay my mortgage. I don't give a fuck about your kids and if they fit in the back seat.
Dude,
I really
don't. Vito from Matilda.
No, I'm a little nicer than that. I'm not blatantly an asshole. I'm an asshole behind the scenes. I hope my boss never sees this.
I'm sorry. All I can picture now is you playing the dad in Matilda, and that if they ever do it,
Matilda, you can put the wig on too. It's super glued.
I'm already halfway there. We just gotta right here.
Right.
Oh, I love that movie. I love Dated.
I know, that is a classic.
He's so underrated as a comedian, just as an actor.
I love him. He's the new face for the subs. What is it?
Subway?
Not Subway. It's Jersey Mike's.
Oh yeah, Jersey Mike's.
Oh yeah, yep.
He's literally in the window, and he's like, "Hey, give me my sandwich, thank you." And he's just like, "Oh boy." And you're like,
well, before him, it was the other guy. It was
Jared.
No, you're thinking Subway again.
I keep
the guy from Seinfeld.
Yes.
Oh, I forget his name.
Wait, was it Seinfeld? Everyone Loves Raymond.
Oh yeah, yeah. My bad. I'm dyslexic.
It's the brother who sounds like this all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everyone hates.
I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name.
He's one of those actors that
You've seen his face, and you know what his voice sounds like, and you know this and this and this, and then you're like, oh yeah, it's
the PE teacher from the Pacifier with Vin Diesel that got into a onesie, and you're like, I could have lived my whole life without seeing that, but
yeah,
we're here now.
I know that, but I don't know your name.
Yeah.
Right. So Jeremy, your name is Sojiwoo on TikTok. What the fuck does that mean?
It's just a play on word, my dude.
I don't know what it means though.
It means not. It's literally combining. There's no thought behind my user. It's literally Jar-O-Me, say it really fast, Jeremy, and Soj-Woo is taking Soju and the Woo, and I thought I was being cute. But I think...
I mean, it worked. Not for nothing, but it worked.
I mean, it's different. It took me forever to try to even pronounce it. That fucked me up.
That's fun.
When I tell you I'm a pothead, I'm really...
Hold on. Hold on. How did my white ass be able to pronounce soju faster than you did?
Reparations.
A bottle of soju?
What is soju?
Wait, you don't know what soju is?
No, that's why I'm so confused. Like, I actually have no idea what that even means.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what ramune is?
What?
Not ramen, ramune.
I have no idea what the fuck is happening right now.
Are you talking about labia?
No. The soda with the glass ball.
Oh, the.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those things. Yeah, I know what those are.
Dude, I helped out a kid. He was struggling because he thought you just had to press down the lid, but he didn't understand that you had to take out like the
You have to take out that little divider and spacer, yeah.
And then the parents were like, the kid wasn't acknowledging me, and I was like, hey, because I was just not trying to be weird. I was like, can we help? And the parents like, hey, let him help. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, and the parents like, damn, that's pretty cool. And both the kids got it, and then I was just like, nice.
I was at the gas station. This was like yesterday, and this lady and her little one behind me, and she's just like, she goes, Mama, I want the Japanese thingy. And it's Pocky. And I remember the mom grabs it, and she goes, the serving size is one box? I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, oh, yeah.
For a child, it's probably like half the bag. Or maybe like a four. Yeah, depends on how big the child is. I used to be a big kind of fluffy kid. Like, I have like low key PTSD body dysmorphia because my oldest brother was like, we're gonna call you Chubbs, and I was like, okay, so that when you get called names because of your weight from other kids around you, it won't affect you. And I'm like, I got it. I'm like,
it still affected you, didn't it?
Yeah, I was just like, there I'm like, Chubbs. So just like, but then like once I hit like high school, I had a growth spurt. So like that consistent 135, 145 from middle school, and that like 5'7", 5'8", stretched out to 5'10",
just spaced out, like, kind of was able to disperse everywhere.
Stretched out, and I was like, holy shit.
See, that never happened to me.
Now, did you start? I'm curious. Did you also kind of like start working out and all that in high school?
So a lot of people don't know, or maybe they do. I don't know if they pay attention to when I talk, but I used to be a swimmer. I was a swimmer back at a very early age, like 7, 8, 9. My mother was like, she didn't want to balance all three of us boys in different sports because she like we're Asian. We need to be time efficient. We need to use our time efficiently. So she's like uses the oldest as a guinea pig, and then swimming. She threw him in. Oh, he floats. Okay, let's just throw the rest in. We all float. We're all screaming. We've been kicking and screaming in the water for all our lives, except for the second oldest. He the chlorine kind of gave him migraines, so he had to kind of do his own thing, which was fine. It worked out for him. But my oldest brother and I, we were both collegiate athletes, same college.
Holy shit!
Yeah, nothing too impressive. It was D3.
That's still further than I got.
I rode the bench on a community college, so on basketball, I didn't even. I went to 2 practices, sat for 1 game, and then just quit the team. I was like, this is not worth my time.
Nah, well, I was never really much in the sports either. Like growing up, like I did soccer, I did baseball and stuff like that, but I wasn't like hardcore into it. I was on swim team for a little bit. I've been scuba diving since I was 13 because that's just like the family trade.
Scuba diving it's intimidating. It'd be scary.
There's definitely some white people stuff though. I'm just saying, this is definitely some white people stuff. Scuba divers.
See, this is the part where I find somebody to disagree with you, and then I remember Jacques Cousteau is one of the most French-ass motherfuckers on the planet, so I really can't say that either.
Is he that deep-sea diver one that goes through those huge, like, wells that are specifically made for those deep diver fanatics?
The metal tank?
No. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I can't I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
They're not scuba divers. They're just they dive freely with just like a mask.
Well, so there's deep sea diving, which is like the dudes who are in like the full like suit, hard helmet, but a lot of that is like salvage, recovery, underwater welding. Like depending on what you do for underwater welding, you're either in a scuba unit and they're doing all that, or they're legit in like full suit, all that with tethered line.
A few good men.
A few good men, yeah. So that was Navy salvage divers, and that's just
heavy shit.
That's full suit.
Heavy shit.
Oh, that yeah.
I want my steps, cookie.
I want my 12.
1. I don't remember the lines. 2.
The Navy diver is not a combat man. He is a salvage expert.
Dude, that was a great movie.
I fucking love that movie.
I've actually never seen it.
Put it on the list. Put it on the list.
Oh, the list is infinite. I've seen so many movies, but I'm a comedy horror person, and that's usually I got that usually covered. Yeah, but yeah, no, scuba diving is definitely a white people thing. Like there was definitely a white guy that's like, there's something down there. We got to go find out what it is.
And then fuck
it. And then centuries later, here you are, Copper, continuing the tradition. Because my ass don't want to go down there. Hell no. I don't know many Asians that want to go down. They want to stay at surface level so they can get the fish and just eat that, because that's what we do.
But there are those hardcore Asians that will be like, okay, we need to find a giant squid. Oh,
we will kill all the way, I'll die.
Kyle, white pink fluffy paste, or a squid and asparagus. I know the squid and asparagus too delicious. Oh my gosh. I believe in you, Kyle. Is like,
did you watch the behind the scenes of them actually recording that?
That's literally what happened. He's dying. Like he's like you two. He's dying while like staying. He's
crying, laughing, watching.
Right. And also the fact he uses his kid as Ike. That is amazing.
You're shitting me.
It's hilarious. It's the best father. I think it's a daughter or is a son. I think it's a daughter.
I have no idea.
But it's the best father-daughter relationship I've ever seen. Because she's like, okay, sweetie, just say it like this. And she's like, fuck. And then the mother's there like, yeah, this is our life.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
These are the guys that made basketball. These are the guys that made basketball. We shouldn't hold them at any high standard at this point, right? Like, if you are you surprised? Like, I'm not surprised. So I do want to ask you about specific Asian stereotypes and what ones you think are true. So I went online and I was Googling them, and there's actually a Wikipedia page for Asian stereotypes, and it is very much in depth. I didn't go too far because I'm lazy. So what would you say is the most...
You'll stalk the fuck out of him and know the exact date of when his first video went up, but going through a Wikipedia page...
Too much work! Too much
that
work!
required reading, where the other one was press page down on my keyboard, and it just kept going until the bottom hit.
Just outsource that shit, come on.
Man, this podcast does not provide any income in this household. My wife is very mad that I spent money on things here. Just make sure
we'll get it there.
Way too much.
We'll get it there.
One day we'll get there.
I'm just upset that the bonsai tree does not have is it a cherry blossom?
I have no idea. It's whatever the Lego bonsai set was.
It needs the cherry blossoms. The pink.
I mean, I'm growing an actual bonsai. I'm actually growing 2 bonsai trees. Two died.
That's also
2 are growing. So it'll take years, but I'm excited.
That was also another viral video sound. The pink cherry blossom frogs.
I didn't hear that one.
That one was when I was at...
I don't think I did.
Yeah, apparently that one went pretty well because a lot of people were like took my voice because I was like geeking because the frogs on the cherry blossom were like they're frogs, but stereotypes. Sorry, I'm like
yes, it's fine. This podcast is known for its ADHD, and there's a reason why I got Copper here, because Nick and I would have been even worse. If you listen to our episodes, we'll start talking about X-Men and somehow
you're one of those. I know one of those.
In 1987, there was this happening. That's what happens with our conversations.
Well, no, what's even better is like you do Ellie's show, like Down the Rabbit Hole. Like me and Ellie did an episode on that.
Oh
And
my
we
God.
we was meant to talk about paranormal and weird shit from the military perspective. We ended up talking about the Army, the Air Force, and went so philosophical and deep on so much shit that we never actually got around to anything having to do with the paranormal or any of that.
And this is why we don't have individual shows anymore, because the shows end up not being, because fanboys, we would talk about all movies and nerdy shit, and then it never happened. It just
freaking like
we just had to.
he doesn't have ADHD. He just
And this is why. So you said before, you said the NIFA podcast. It's actually NFA, because that stands for nobody fucking asked, because this is the podcast that nobody fucking has ever asked for.
NIFA. Get yours
Yes,
today.
Well, it actually started because we used to do interviews, and then I would just ask weird questions. Like I asked Copper if he shaved or waxed his butthole, and he never answered the question.
That would hurt.
I did answer that question.
You answered it with like, you know how your neighbor got a real nice grass, and you take your lawnmower out and you bring it down about 2 levels, and you just still run over it, but there's still a good amount of grass there, and then that's what you gotta do, and that's how you explain the whole thing. And I still don't understand how that. It's really simple. I spread my butt cheeks and I shave my motherfucker.
All right.
You shave your butt cheeks?
Stay with me.
Yeah.
Stay with me for a moment.
It's time.
To give you the pothead, the pothead answer, yes.
All right, people, you heard it here first. Copper shaves. I shave. Yes, he does. His butthole is bare.
Do you shave or wax?
That's the question. See,
Waxing costs money. Shaving and self-maintenance is for free. Shave razors, but it's significantly less.
Why?
Yes.
Aren't those like, online waxing, like DIY sets not too expensive?
Yeah.
It's not so much that, it's knowing me, I will do something dumb and like rip off a whole layer of freaking skin, and I really don't want to do that.
Picasso! I like it! Yeah!
I don't know why, but I pictured his ass in the bathroom laying down trying to get it, and it's stuck. And he's calling his mom.
No.
Mom, I need your help.
I would sooner die.
No, okay. It's the whole setup. Okay, if you're self-waxing a guy, you're either going to be doing it looking over your shoulder in the mirror, or you're sprawled out like like jujitsu.
I got one better for you, gentlemen.
On the ground, and you kind of bring your legs back, and you're trying to get a self-vision, and then you apply it while in that like yoga pose, and then you're like, I feel like that like if you get enough likes on that, be like, okay guys, I'll wax my butthole. Yeah.
I have no idea how this conversation got out of hand.
With stereotypes, guys.
Oh, on this show, you have no idea how this got out of hand.
This one really took a turn for the worse. I got one better for
on this show. You have no idea how we got there. Is that what you're telling me right now?
I've ripped my pen too much, by the way.
That's like the American government saying that it doesn't know how we got here.
2 giant pink bubbles. This couldn't possibly get any worse. Nonsense.
I got one better for you, Jeremy. I got one better for you, because you said you either have you look over the shoulder, or you have to sprawl and try to do some yoga pose. You get one of those little mirrors that like twists and turns like that, like it spins around.
Like a makeup mirror?
Yeah. You put it up and you just squat it out. You just go catcher style.
Dang. You got to open your taint for that. I feel like it's like
it stretches the skin, gets to a closer shave.
That's not bad.
It's nice.
That's not bad.
Makes wiping a one wipe experience, and it's nice,
So like I'm Korean.
So anyway, the Asian stereotypes Wikipedia that you refuse to fucking read, and didn't want to read all the way through. You only read through it a little bit up there.
That's true.
Up there, that you only read a little bit of. I feel like the fucking town scribe. Let's go keep controlling this shit.
This is why you got to come along. So yes. Now here's the question for you. We'll see if you apply to any of these stereotypes. How is your driving record?
It's clean, actually. It's clean.
It is. No accidents?
Well, I recently got pulled over because there was a stop sign that I did not see. And the cop, when he pulled us over, he's like, yeah, we've been having trouble with that stop sign because a lot of people have been running it. So he acknowledged that, and he just gave us a warning.
Mhm.
But other than that, I've had no recorded accidents.
Okay. Because that's an Asian stereotype, right? Like, we don't drive well.
If it ain't on paper,
That is not the full Asian stereotype. There's an
Family Guy
attachment.
expressed it the best.
There's an attachment
Family-
to that, yeah.
Family Guy did it.
Oh, I make left turn now.
Okay, good luck, everybody else.
Good luck, everybody else. Gosh.
Oh God.
Now I'm not saying. I'm not, but I am saying. Yeah, just leave it at that.
All right. We talked about it before we actually did the show, and we were just chatting it up beforehand. Are you rocking with an egg roll, or you got a dumpling?
Sorry, that just sounds weird. Because I feel like a dumpling is more like, do you have big balls? Or do you have the shaft? And I'm like, the egg roll is the shaft, and like it's an egg roll dumpling combo.
Well, you have friends that are Filipino, so you know what lumpia is.
Yeah. Lumpia's delicious.
Are you talking lumpia, or are you talking like an egg roll?
I'd say I'm
Because that's the Asian stereotype, right?
comparatively to the Asian average, I'm above.
Compared to the Asian average. I like how you worded that.
Yeah, we actually were
Okay.
I went to a Korean spa with my friends, and we're all talking about this, and we're just like, okay, guys, we're in like the hot tub. We're just like, yeah, I'm happy with what I got. Yeah, me too. We're like, we're all above the Asian average. We're like, yeah, and we're like, you're half, so you're a cheater. You're a cheater. So, yeah.
And that's why I've always rocked with I've got a mediocre dick, but A1 head game. It sets that expectation low, just set it, like when I used to meet girls when I was single, like, just so you know, I am Asian. I just want to throw it out there. And then when they see it, they're like, that's not bad. I'm like, oh, perfect. Yeah,
It's the whole
Set that
like,
bar low.
oh, I'm pleasantly surprised. And I'm just like,
exactly, right?
I
If you
will
go around-
destroy you.
If you start going around saying I got a big dick, my dick huge, I don't have a line, and then you whip it out, and it's like, is it?
Oh, there's like this one story I heard where they're having a good time. They're on a date. They get back and they're like, oh yeah, we're going. She takes off her clothes and he drops his drawer. She puts her clothes back on. She's like, that's too damn big. And she was just like, no, that ain't. He's like, can we try? She's like, you see the height difference? You see the? Huh? Oh hell no!
That's like Shaq with any one of his girlfriends that he's had.
That's a huge.
That's a huge bit.
Huge bit.
Oh my god! All right, so you did say you have a college degree, so you have an education. So check it off as Asian stereotype there. You said you're 5'10", so that defeats the Asian stereotype.
Oh, five.
Oh shit, you're literally right at the same
I'm
house. I am.
5'11" actually.
5'11".
5'12" on a good day.
You're a giant.
5'12" on
You're
a
a
good
giant.
day.
You do realize 5'12" is 6 feet, right?
5'12" on a good day.
Yeah, it's like a parent saying, "My kid's 58 months."
I've
Oh
been
my
told back and
gosh.
forth that I'm. Yeah, right.
Oh, he's only 50.
How old is he? Oh, he's 26 months. Okay, so he's fucking 2.
Was that in Grown Ups when like the child still suckling on the mother's teat and
Yeah.
they're like, how old is he? And he's like, oh, and I'm like, he's fucking 4. What the fuck?
Oh my god. And then the final question here is: can you forgive Hollywood for making Tom Cruise the Last Samurai?
Yeah, because that's the whole.
I can't. I can't
That
do
was
it.
the
I
whole
can't.
concept of the movie.
Yeah, but
Was it?
you just. Yeah, but Tom Cruise is the Last Samurai. Tom Cruise. Like when you look up white people, Tom Cruise is the person that comes up.
The only issue I have with Tom Cruise, it's not even an issue I have with Tom Cruise. It's the person that pointed it out I have an issue with. Every photo that Tom Cruise is in, his smile, his fucking tooth, his front tooth is in the fucking middle all the time. And I hate that someone pointed it out. Every photo I see of Tom Cruise now, it's like, and then one tooth.
You just see it, and now you can't
unsee it. And I hate that person.
It's like Owen Wilson's nerves, right? Like I never really noticed
And then you realize it's
Owen
a freaking
Wilson's
car accident.
distinct. Yeah. And then, like, I'd never really noticed the distinctness of his nose. And then someone pointed it out. Now it's like...
easily fixed, too. But he doesn't do it because he's happy. He's happy with his nose. Wow. I respect that.
Well, there's nothing...
You're right.
Well,
his tooth is
certainly something to fix. Because, you know, everyone's just sort of, like, beautiful how they are. So, wow, I appreciate that. That actually... that almost went to Nicolas Cage a little bit there.
Oh, my gosh. But, yeah.
Well, I don't think necessarily anything wrong with his nose, and if he doesn't want to fix it, he doesn't have to. It just makes him a national treasure.
That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty solid. I close my eyes because I'm like, the face and the voice, I'm like, oh, not Nicholas. But yeah. But honestly, I don't... Last Samurai, I haven't watched it in forever, but I just like the whole concept of the white man lives... Right? If I remember, like, he like gets abducted as a prisoner, maybe?
Yes. So
hold on, we got that story in here.
Well, no, because Last Samurai is not fucking history in any way, shape, or
it's Hollywood, but I feel like it was well done.
It's history wood. It's history wood. It's one of those things where, like, they took a very specific time frame and kind of like things that were going on during that period, and just kind of all threw them together. In essence, he is a United States cavalryman who fought in the Indian Wars, all that, or the Indian Wars. Did a lot of bad shit, but he's also someone who he tries to respect the culture, like he speaks Blackfoot and he speaks Cree, and like he learned a lot about the Native Americans as he's also fucking slaughtering them, and he hates himself. He's an absolute alcoholic. There is an envoy from Japan, and this is, if I remember the time period correctly, I don't think it was 1860s. Long story short, like, as Japan was beginning to modernize, and the age of the samurai and the Edo period and daimyos and shoguns and all that was kind of being phased out. He is in essence hired by the upcoming westernized Japanese government to help snuff out the samurai. He tries to. The samurai fuck up everybody. One of the last remaining bands, who's run by Katsumoto, who is played by Ken Watanabe, and he does an amazing job. They kill everybody except him. And Katsumoto has a dream that tells him to spare him. They take him to his village, and he essentially, it's almost like a Dances with Wolves kind of thing, where like he's there as a prisoner, and then they sort of start to
assimilate,
let him be part of things. Yeah, he begins to assimilate, and then they do bring him back once the snow falls and all that. And now he's in essence like, holy shit, what the fuck are we doing? And then he goes to the other side, and for the last battle, he fights alongside Katsumoto and the samurai, and everybody, spoiler alert, every single samurai except him dies, which is the whole Last Samurai thing. So there's so much of it that, like, and it's hard because there's so much because people will take it as like direct history, like, oh, this type of shit happened. It's like, no,
it's loosely based.
Yes, but it's also very romanticized. Like the way they talk about Bushido and like certain things, and like I'm the motherfucker who has Bushido tattooed in my skin, but I don't have it tattooed in my skin because I'm like, oh, this is what the samurai, like every single samurai followed this to a fucking T. It's like, oh, you're
Japanese very good. You need Hattori Hanzo's steel.
Arigatou gozaimasu. Moshi moshi, kappa desu.
I'm a Korean. I like every time I do an Asian voice, it comes out Japanese because I watched Kill Bill, and I'm a huge. Not as a person, but as a director, I'm a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I love his films. He's like kind of a weird, Salma Hayek feet. But like one of my friends was asking because he was doing a voice, and I was like, watch Kill Bill, watch the Hattori Hanzo scene, and that's the kind of voice you want for that certain character if you want to like voice it. It's very deep, very like, oh, and I'm like, that's where I got it, like that kind of like Japanese English dub voice. It was from this because like you see it, oh, arigato, like, oh, you're Japanese, oh, very good, oh. Also, I gotta piss.
Oh, go take a pee break.
Yeah.
It's okay.
All right, 10-minute break.
Think of 5 minutes.
Yeah, I felt like I was just like, if I just walk off, That's just like this is
Your Japanese are very good.
That's the younger brother. That's the younger brother. I'm the youngest of three, so I'm like that's the youngest brother syndrome or whatever. Yeah, I have to make a piss.
I almost
Got to go up, PP.
my microphone.
Got to go up, PP.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that piss was phenomenal. Oh, it's like that one where you're like peeing and you're like so long, and then you like get the kind of like oh.
Yeah, no worries. I fix everything in post on that.
Dude, you're expensive. You're both expensive. You guys are.
Oh
tatted
yeah,
up.
man. I live for this shit, man. I vote exactly what I got has been what I've been wanting since I was 16. So,
Dude, I met a guy, full body, like, shaved head, a little short, petite dude. I look at him and I'm like, yo, if I'm stealing anybody, I'm stealing you. You're expensive. And he just looked at me. He's like, yeah, man, this is. If I had to make a guesstimate of how much that man is worth because of the cost of the tattoo, the line work, the coloring, the placement, oh my gosh, it's like it might be a 4-year college tuition.
I'm about 10 grand in the arms here, probably about 10. Yeah,
Only
so
10?
let me preface. So my wife was in the military. That's how she knows copper, and she was working with this guy his girlfriend at the time was an apprentice at a tattoo shop, and then she ended up going on to Ink Master and then becoming in second place on season 12.
Shit.
Yep. Her name's Danny Ryan. And then she practiced. She worked with her all the time, and obviously when she was an apprentice, she got tattooed by her. So then when I met her, when I went to a tattoo appointment with her, and I met Danny, and then Danny and I became best friends because I told her all my ideas, and she loves American traditional pieces, and I knew.
American. I want an American traditional style tattoo, and like the generic, like, you know, either a soul, like the dagger, or like the eagle.
What was it called again? Like the
want,
Ed Hardy style, I think is what it was called for a little while.
Yeah, because Ed Hardy used fucking what's it called? I forgot his fucking name. God.
I remember my Ink Master like phase.
I love
that shit was gnarly. Some of the worst tattoos.
Yeah, but that's why I was so hyped when I found out she came in second place, and I'm like, fuck yes, I know 100%. Can't get her on the show, but I can get her to do tattoos.
Yeah, but like they'll give you a discount, but you're like, no, I still
exactly
you pay.
So, like she'll charge you like $700
like,
for like a 7-hour session or some shit, and I'm like. And then I'm like, no, I'm gonna pay you fucking like $1,200. Like, fuck out of here.
I was about to say, dude,
that's
like,
pretty fucking sick, dude.
I don't think it was like that. I'm obviously over exaggerating, but
I'm like, yo, sign me up.
I can't.
What's the ad?
I don't know. Yeah, good luck getting with her, getting an appointment with her, bro. Her books are always fucking closed.
Like, dude, I remember like when I first dyed my hair. I went to New York. The guy, his salon, and he was dyeing my hair. His tattoo was phenomenal line work, phenomenal coloring, shading, everything. And the artist was so well known. He's been booked for like the whole 5 years, like but now he's retired, that artist, and I was just like, God damn it, the work was phenomenal. But that's just the whole. He solidified his name probably in the tattoo world. Our community, so I'm just like, goddamn, that artist is making bank because every piece is like worth like a house, and people are willing to pay that and go up the wazoo. And I'm like, goddamn, that's tattoo artist. Me, I am a blank can't use me.
An Asian skin is great too because it's not like super white, and you can have like good shading and stuff with it, so it makes it fun. Shout out to Danny Ryan. She's fucking awesome. She's the best. Love her. She just announced she's pregnant, so I'm happy for her. Congratulations.
Nice.
Question for you. Jeremy, what celebrities do you think don't wash their rice?
A lot of
they get somebody to wash their rice for them. If they do it all.
Off the top of my head, I don't know. Forget.
You think Kanye washes his rice?
I don't think Kanye eats rice.
Fair. Okay, you know what then? We're going to settle the beef right now. Who doesn't wash their rice? Is it Drake or Kendrick?
I don't care, honestly. That whole, I feel like it's that shit blowing up right now. I think it's the
Listen, as a hip hop fan, and I'm just loving the content we're getting, and that, I mean, you haven't had a real rap beef in a long time, so it's just nice to see people coming out with fucking music consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so stupid because that shit's blowing up when I myself am ignorant to what's going around, like current.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Well,
but I'm like, I know that there's more
pressing. I was just saying.
Yeah, but I know there's more pressing issues.
Oh yeah.
Than Kendrick and Drake's beef, and I'm like that. But that's overshadowing because TikTok does a good job of doing that, pushing that nonsense out, while also shadowing what's actually going on and what's actually important. Because I'm like, someone like I saw someone like they were like commenting on like they're making like Charlie D'Amelio. Why? Why is she famous?
I don't know.
I have no idea who that is.
Other than the fact, I'm pretty sure her family's rich and like her father owns like a huge company or corporation and he's already doing well. And she's famous, I think, through that. I think. I don't know. I'm not because I don't really get it. But someone was like commenting and making like her outfit that she went to a rave a precedent. Like it was like a big news. And I'm like, that's not big news. And the person that stitched that video was like pointing it out. They're like, Charlie D'Amelio is a blip in the fucking world. Like that should not be your so I'm just like, I don't know. Like Kendrick Lamar or Kendrick, whatever, Drake. Wash your rice. That should be more pertinent. Wash your rice.
I love the one you did the other day of where you actually like had to explain to people why you wash your fucking rice.
It's I'm still coming into terms of just like everyone. We are smooth brain. I am a smooth brain, but it's just like why do we need to?
With the bag, it tells me that it's enriched with vitamins and minerals and all that.
I'm like, you understand that the processing.
I think part of it is that like there's so much. I think it's funny how the one cool thing I will say about TikTok is that TikTok kind of at the same time gives like different perspectives on certain things where it's like no, this is a thing that you fucking do, but it can do it in a way that's comedic. Because when someone gets in a video and they're like, all right, real serious right now, everyone's like, nah. But then like when you do it your way, people are like, oh damn, I guess washing your rice isn't. Actually, I'm curious, why is washing your rice important? And it kind of like puts forward that bit.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I think that's why this started, like he said, back in 2020. It's been like 4 fucking years. I've been writing this wash your rice fucking trail. And people are like, what'd you write? We get it. I'm like, do you get it?
Hey, boss, you were smart. You found a fucking thing. I don't have a fucking thing. I had like a thing for a minute. Like I was a prize pony for a minute. And now I kind of like, don't get me wrong, I have my community that's built around me and I love it. But you have literally been able to stretch that shit out. Fuck you, I know what you're going to say.
The horse has been dead.
You, I know what you're going to say.
The horse has been dead.
It ain't dead though, because people are still.
I thought it was
ain't
dead. Like I'm like beating it.
It ain't dead, homie.
And I'm like, I have to get to the point where I turn that horse into glue. Which they don't do that. I don't think they do that anymore.
Depends on where
they
you
used
go.
to, but not anymore. Yeah.
See, I feel like you need to continue to fight the good fight until the world knows. Because the fact that I still meet grown adults who legitimately don't know to wash their rice. Sorry, Copper, they're primarily Caucasian.
You're not wrong.
I have to.
You're wrong.
I have to teach them constantly, and I'm like, yes, you buy a rice cooker, you fill it up, you put right to that finger, right to that little line right there. You just go, and that's it. It's done. You press a button. It's finished. It's an $8 cooker.
But not even that. The rice cooker, it does it for. there's a measuring line in the rice cooker. And if you measure the right amount of cups of rice and then put it in and you just fill it to the line.
Do you legitimately measure your rice though? Like I just pour. I just eye it out how much rice I need.
I have a dispenser.
Oh, you're top-notch Asian. I'm not there yet, bro.
The dispenser is nice, but what pisses me off is that like everyone's buying that Amazon rice dispenser. And it's a good dispenser. But you can make it better by having it just dispense 1 cup of rice. Just 1 perfect cup. Because if you just press it and it keeps going and you use the measuring cup is not... I don't like the measuring cup it comes with. Because I'm like, what the... It's like milliliters. It's not cups. I have to do the math. I hate math. I suck at math. That is one Asian stereotype I fucking hate. All the Asians are good at math.
Predominantly, we are good at math, dude.
I suck at math. When I worked at Costco, we were doing an audit, and my friend's like, hey, can you add these numbers up? And I'm like, yeah, let me just get my calculator up. He's like, what? You can't do that in your head? I'm like, fuck you. I'm using my freaking calculator. Look, we can't use our phones on the floor. And I'm like, oh no, what are they gonna do? But yeah, I'm like milliliters. I'm like, what the fuck? How many? I know. But so that's one thing I would fix about the Amazon rice dispenser. Literally one function where it just dispenses 1 cup. That's it, and that would solve all problems.
You legitimately sounded like fucking Bruce Lee doing. You put the water into the cup, it become the cup. You put water into a pot, it become the pot.
Be water, my friend.
Be water.
Be water.
You gotta put the whole kid.
When you fuck something
that
up,
actually leads to my next question. As an Asian, we don't get a lot of representation or a lot of role models of that in Hollywood or in just pop culture. So when growing up as a kid, who was your Asian role model growing up, and why was it Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee like every other Asian American growing up?
Honestly, I think like it depends on where you're from and where you're being what you're being exposed to. Because in my opinion, I got a lot of Asian a lot of Asian exposure. That might have been because
where are you from?
I'm from Maryland.
There's Asian fucking culture in Maryland?
The DMV, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia. Virginia is has one of the biggest Korean or Asian populations there.
I'm like shocked because I know San Francisco, huge Asian culture over there, and then New York City because Chinatown is fucking massive.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of my Jackie Chan was a huge Asian representation growing up. Bruce Lee was actually on the latter side, but Jet Li as well.
Chow Yun Fat.
So Michelle.
Yeah. Hard boiled.
Yeah. Or no, or
it was old Sean William Scott, Bulletproof Monk.
Yeah, that and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and also Keanu Reeves.
Who was actually the guy who? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Who was the guy? Because I remember there was a little while where I saw The Matrix. The guy who plays the one who is like the Oracle's bodyguard.
The door master, the key.
No, not him, not the key maker.
Yeah,
the one who he literally fights Neo, and then he's like, "You don't truly know someone until you fight."
The one who was like, I pull out key from hood. Hey, you're fighting. That would piss me off. I'm like, I can't do that. If there's a key in there, and I'm like, that shit's scratching my delicate forearm. I'm not doing that shit. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. But he was the one that had like all the back doors. I forget who.
Because I remember right after that, I followed him to almost every single movie that he did, and it was weird because he's kind of one of those actors to where he's in a whole bunch of different shit, but you don't recognize him until you actually look up and you're like, oh shit, that is him.
Yeah, like Ong Bak, Ong Bak, and also Tony Jaa, and the two. There's 2 Asian guys in John Wick that he faces.
The ones who are kind of having the conversation with him, and they're big fans of his.
Yeah. But those 2 go way back because those are they're 2 martial arts stunt coordinators that are well endowed in different styles, like hand to hand, knife, floor, whatever. and they go back to like Ong Bak. They go to what was that? There was one movie I forget. I think it was with Tony Jaa where he has to fight his way up through. Like,
yes, that was the not the Protector. Was that the Protector? I think that's what it was.
It might have been.
It was something like that. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of his name either. Yeah,
he had a good string of movies for like 2 years and then disappeared from all existence. Then Jet Li did the same thing. Wait a second.
Because Jet Li, he went into like I think started doing humanitarian stuff. I think he's like helping.
Let's look at the timeline back because I just my synapses were firing off right now. I Rain Man this shit. Look at Chow Yun Fat. Had like a good string of like 4 or 5 movies. Gone into the wind. Never heard of again. You had fucking what's his name? Fucking Jet Li. Same thing, right? Good stretch of movies in the early 2000s. Disappeared. Never again. Then you had fucking Tony Jaa. Same thing, right? Every martial art guy. What was the guy that was in oh my god, he was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ernie something. I can't remember his name. Ernie Reyes Jr. Yeah, he was in a bunch of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers, all that. Disappeared. Never again.
Eddie Nunez?
No, I don't think that was him. Reyes. Reyes was the last name. I know that. I think it was Ernie Reyes. But yeah, what is up with that? I just pinpointed that in my head that
Ernie Reyes
Asians come out for a very short period of time, take over Hollywood, and then run away and never be seen again.
I think it's just because either they're done, they're tired, or they couldn't get a role that they wanted.
I think
because that's why Jackie Chan. That's why Jackie Chan doesn't act in America anymore. He said he wants a real role instead of being Detective Lee or Detective Chan.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I think a big part of it. I remember someone sent me this a while ago. They're like, I'm like, dude, I'm not that famous. He's like, no, I know you're not yet. Like every time I talk to him, he's always like, yeah, man, like there's gonna be big things for you. I'm like, I hope so. But it was this whole video of how like there's kind of like this bar, right, where you hit a certain level of success to where it's like, okay, well, how famous is too famous to where your quality of life kind of degrades? Like you look at none of these people are like, I'm not saying they're on the same level as each other, but we're talking like world acclaim. Your Johnny Depp's, your Robert Pattinson's, your really big actor names and all that.
Dude,
everyone's like, oh yeah, but they have all that fucking money. Huh?
Dude, look at Taylor Swift and Michael Jackson. Like they that wasn't like there's no way of living life.
No, you don't have a life. You can't go out and do things. Like everyone's like, oh yeah, well Johnny Depp has all this fucking money. It's like, yeah, and then the amount that he pays on private security, he can't go out and fucking do things. Every time he lands somewhere, they have to land in a separate part of the airport, get in the car, get to the hotel, immediately get out the fucking car, go in the hotel, and fucking stay there. So, I think that what it could be for a lot of that is that a lot of these guys, and again, I can't speak for all of them or know exactly what the story is, but it could be that they're like, hey, I did this awesome thing. It springboarded them into the next thing they wanted to do. And then you kind of hit that point where you're like, okay, well, here's all the other things I want to do. Let me use the money, the success, blah, 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 to go do those things, but actually be able to, go walk around the street without getting stopped every 5 seconds. Like still have a quality of life somewhat. That's why I like billionaires. Like billionaires kind of have it in that little sweet spot. Because, yeah, they have enough like F off money to do what they want, but it's not like they walk around the street and people are like, oh my God, because no one knows who the fuck they are. They could be the CEO.
The super rich people do not get recognized because that's how they do it. They live under the radar because they're just not they don't want the recognition. It's that they don't want all that. I see. But I appreciate. But what I appreciate about like Jackie Chan and Jet Li is that they make cameos.
Yes,
they pop up once in a while.
And I like that. Yeah, and the whole fact that he was in the latest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Jackie Chan as Master Splinter, that was great.
Yeah. Jackie,
I like that a lot.
I noticed a trend too. Is like people from the West Coast always talk about Bruce Lee, and then people on the East Coast talk about Jackie Chan because he was always in the West. He's always in the East Coast. Rumble in the Bronx, Rush Hour, all that. Ricky Tan.
I think it was on the Graham Norton show where Jackie Chan was telling how like when people like talk about him or like recognize him, he's like, oh, Jackie Chan, or it's like Robert Downey Jr., Leonardo, Jackie Chan. And he's like, it's endearing to him, but at the same time, he's just like, why can't it just be Jackie Chan? No, it's Jackie Chan.
Hey, his cartoon, by far my favorite.
Oh, Jackie Chan Adventure.
Jackie, why you don't pick up
Jackie. This? Oh, bate. Oh, the talisman. The things I could do with those talismans.
See, that was back when like Kids WB, like it would have like the little commercial things in there, but it would be like something educational almost. Like the Jackie Chan ones, there was always like he taught you little words in Chinese, and it was like not even a 2-minute clip. And I will never forget. I don't know why it's such a core memory that's locked in my brain, but it's Jackie Chan like live action, like teaching Chinese, and he's like, the Chinese word for troublemaker is ma fa yao, and then the animated Jade would like go by him on a skateboard and be like, oh, Jade for short, and that always stuck in my brain for some freaking reason. But like TV used to do that shit, and now it's just ads. We show for about a couple seconds, ads.
Like honestly, when you go to people, like when you go to your friends' houses, the TV is only
not really, not anymore. No, like, it's all Netflix or Disney Plus or streaming service. Yeah,
it's more like also just an aesthetic.
Yes.
Like that's why they have the frame TV now, where it looks like a painting on the wall.
Mm-hmm. Or like it's constantly running like your photo album or something like that. Like it's always showing something.
Yeah. At the same time, TVs are getting way too big.
Not enough. No, there's no such thing as a too big TV. No.
I think they're getting way too big because they're also with families with children being exposed to such a huge, high quality. Their eyes are going to be so fucked up, in my opinion. Or I don't know. Maybe they won't get fucked up. Maybe they're evolving. They're priming them like, oh, they're gonna have supervision. Oh, my kids he can actually hear and see the sounds or whatever, or see the colors of the sounds.
That's the thing. Oh my God, that freaks me the fuck out. Like the Apple goggle things, dude. Like that freaks me the fuck out. Like people wearing them, and then like you just have this interface in front of you at all times.
That is one thing I will say I'm not too pissed about like kids really getting into, because like when kids like get into VR, they're moving around and they're doing shit and they're really getting into it, and they're getting exercise. They think they're playing video games, but they're getting exercise. They're doing something. It's like, Saber, hey, listen, we would go outside and pretend shit was there. Now the kids go outside, and they don't gotta pretend. They're just saying.
Like it looks. The only thing right now, like looks weird. It looks kind of bulky and dumb.
Yeah.
For now.
Oh, we're not too far from the future where they're this fucking big.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna. It's.
Hey mom, we're gonna go play VR real quick and just do this.
Somebody in Japan is designing that as we speak.
Probably.
Or the whole like.
Oh, they've talked about that for a little while, of literally it being a contact lens.
Yeah.
That's some division.
So there's a K-drama.
Oh no shit.
Called Memories of Alhambra, or I always mispronounce it, Alhambra.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. But it's the whole premise of like the Contacts is a interactive video game has a glitch and there's something wrong with it, but then that builds off into this whole new world. And
sounds like a Black Mirror episode in the waiting. Goddamn. It's crazy to think just a year ago what AI was able to do to now. Like the AI vision, or like they're making their own like videos. Like before, like Will Smith looked all weird and stuff, and now it looks like
it looks convincing.
Pretty different.
It looks convincing.
It's actually quite like what is going?
What is this? Keep down some snacks.
Quakers, caramel.
All right. Well, with that being said, Copper, do you have any other questions or anything like that? We're coming up on time.
As someone who's doing significantly better in the social media world than me.
Oh, hush.
Bro.
Bless your heart, honey.
Bro.
Bless your heart.
I guarantee you more people know who you are than I do. And rightfully so. Like, you have your thing. And, like, I'll tell you right now, people message me and they're like, oh, you make me smile. You make me laugh. You have had me fucking dying laughing when I just want to bash my head against the wall. Like, I've been like, dude, fuck today. Fuck everything going on. I'm stressed out about this. I'm stressed out about that. And then I'll literally just be swiping through and I'll see you in the mirror be like, hi, have a good morning. have a good month. I'm like, all right, I can't not laugh. I can't not laugh. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's good. He's been screaming at me that everything's going to be okay. So now I guess everything has to be all right. But no, so I guess for you, you mentioned the voice acting. What are like some of your next big things that like you're working towards? So for me, it's like the audiobooks, fire department, this and this. There's all these different things I got my hands in to kind of go into the next thing I want to do. What's like your big thing? Like 2 years you at least want to be doing, or finally breaking the wall on getting into X, Y, or Z? Like what's your next big thing that you want?
I'm horrible at like, I'm very in the moment.
A fair point.
Like a lot of my content is very just like I make it up on the spot.
I very much get that.
Yeah. Which I need to do a better job of setting long-term goals, in sense of like, it's a long-term goal, but what do I need to do to get to that point? I need to do baby steps. I need to accomplish short-term goals in order to achieve the long-term goal. Everything's going to be pointing toward that arrow. So like with voice acting, I need to get my the reel in, the minute reel, start auditioning, start meeting the right people, networking, getting my foot out there, getting my presence out there. That's why I'm trying to go into conventions.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Different conventions, so I get my face out there. I'm meeting the right people. It's not what you know, it's who you know. That I was taught that back in college in one of my classes, and the teacher that taught me that, I was just like, oh, that just stuck with me because it makes a lot of sense. Because like nowadays, you don't necessarily need to go to college. There's so many smart kids out there that can soak up information like it's nothing. They could go to YouTube University. They could find X, Y, and Z on the internet and teach themselves, and they can retain it. And they don't need to go to college. They don't need to waste the money. I could have. But I did learn from college. But that's beside
it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I very much get that, because like for me, I find it funny when people are like, oh, you're finally doing this and this and this, but like, and again, like I'm the worst critic of myself. So people be like, what is your thing? Like, what draws people to your channel so much? I'm like, they like my voice and they think my face is pretty. I don't know. But I think a lot of it, and the people who like I've actually had in-depth conversation with, is that they're like, you've had this whole story and this life and all that before any of this started, and people are kind of starting to see that. So it's hard because like I do the same thing. Like I went to art school for a little while. It was an art school that later lost its accreditation, but I try to not think of it as like a waste, because there's certain people I met during that time, and I don't know what would have happened after this and this and this. But it's funny because it's one of those things where it's like, on paper, you look back and you're like, dude, I wish I'd done this different and that different and this different and that different. But then it's funny because then if you look at some of those things, it's, you try to find like, okay, you know what? Do you think this sucked? What's one good thing? And they're like, oh, well, I did meet this one person. And then it's like, see, because that one person led to the next really cool thing that happened to you, or you met for this and that reason. And that's what a lot of this has been. Like, audio narration and audiobooks was something that I was always like, yeah, I would love to do that. I don't even know how to get started. But because of TikTok, and then because that kind of acted as a springboard where it put me in front of other people who helped not only open that door, like do you think narration is ever something you'd want to do, or just kind of like the acting voice narrator thing of it? Because you do have, even your calm voice, I think is very fitting.
Thank you, child. Oh,
that three will get you everywhere.
But don't like you said, like you are your own worst critic. At the same time, like when I'm watching like fellow mutuals' content, like right now, Chud, like the let's go, the other streaming Asian guy. I see, like I hate the fact that he's pushing out content of him working out, showing his progression, of him going to the gym consistently, him working out, him actually you seeing the physical change, and those videos are
no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Nope.
And I'm like, he's putting in the work. If you are actually his follower, and he has a significant amount of followers, and I'm like, if you are his follower, appreciate that. Support him.
So here's the funny thing with that, and I've noticed this with the algorithm shit. It's not even that people see it and go right by it. I don't know what it is, but a lot of times it's people don't see it. Because, like, I'll put out something that, like, people are like, holy shit, like, I haven't seen you on my For You page in, like, weeks. And I'm like, I've been posting. Like, it's there.
Yeah.
So there's people who...
Algorithms.
But, like, even a lot of people be like, I don't get notifications when you post anymore. Or I don't this and this and that. So I think that, yes, to a certain degree, there are some people who are like, oh, it's not him screaming cool, boring. But then I think that the other part of it is that there's a lot of people who probably love that shit and want to see that. But if they're not getting a notification on it, or if it's not showing up, like if you don't physically go to that person's page and see if they posted something today, you won't see it. It won't show up for you. Yeah. And I don't know what that is, but no, you definitely have a point of like, you know, you do one certain thing and all of a sudden that blows up. But then you do something that's not immediate, flashy, high. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, yeah, no one gives a shit.
That is actually another goal that I kind of want to achieve, is that I won't just be solely recognized as the angry Wash guy. I've also been recognized as the angry Mulan guy. So I've pigeonholed myself into two categories, which I've kind of like bounced back and forth with, like pushing out content, because I'm like, okay, the Rice content is not doing too well. Let's push out some Mulan content. Let's see how that goes. But right now, the Mulan content is doing decently well. And also, I'm now I had a maid outfit phase.
I remember.
And it did well to a point where it just fizzled. Which I'm like, sometimes I bring it back just because some people recognize me at the same time. It draws people's attention, especially at conventions, because they're like, "Oh, it's a guy," or "Oh, it's a girl." Psych, it's a guy. Sweet Jesus! And it's right now. I'm going to be impromptu. Whatever. I'm going to ACEN, Anime Central, Chicago, for all 3 days. Also, one of my friends, he kind of got me into. I'll be tagging along with him into Comic-Con, London.
Yeah. Fucking beautiful.
I'm stressing about
London
that.
Before.
I've been to London, yes, but it was like in passing.
Right.
It was like we saw the London Bridge. We're like, oh, London Bridge.
How did you go from British to Caribbean in the span of half a second?
Was it London or like who sings like London Bridge? Like it's Fergie? Yeah. Sorry, and I wasn't trying to do Caribbean. I just.
It worked. I'm not complaining. It was an outstanding performance. I was just curious as to how we got there.
Comic-Con London, and I'm going to Anime Central. And so that should be fun. Chicago.
Get yourself some deep dish pizza.
God.
Go get yourself some deep dish pizza and go see a Cubbies game.
I've never been to Chicago.
Neither have I.
Is that baseball?
Yeah, that's baseball.
I'm not. I've been to a baseball game. We're just like little sausages just sitting around yelling or just like, enjoying ourselves. And
you know what?
It's like, it's a really...
If you want some fun, that's a sporting event that's actually fun and you don't feel like you're just sitting around for no reason, if you ever find yourself up this way, I'll take you to a fucking Bruins game and you will have a good time. Yes.
Is that hockey? Yeah, see, hockey is the only one I want to see because there's like
an energy.
There's a 1% of a fight, and you bank on that 1%, or like maybe 80 or 50% chance that there's going to be a fight, and then you witness it, and you're like, yeah, blood, teeth, ooh, teeth, and yeah, or like a wholesome part where like he gives the hockey stick to a child. The child's like, oh my god, it's bigger than you, Dad. He's like, oh, you're gonna knock your fucking teeth out with that.
That is the one thing I will say I love about hockey though, is that they get on the ice and they will beat the fuck out of each other in this. And at the very end of the game, you'll see the two dudes who earlier in the game were knocking each other's fucking face in, do the good game handshake and actually be smiling at each other and shit like that. And that's just, it's one of the most Canadian things I just fucking love about hockey is, hey, bud, fucking good punch, eh? You doing all right? I didn't knock you too hard, did I? All right, fuck yeah, bud.
The Goon.
Oh, yeah, the Goon, yep.
The Goon.
Yep.
Oh, the great movie. Freaking Stifler freaking Stifler is the freaking. Oh my gosh! He got.
Remember when he had that run where he was trying to do action movies and get away from being just the fucking douchebag?
A little bit, yeah. Because I remember it was weird. Because like the Rundown,
he was great in Bulletproof. Bulletproof Monk, he was good in Bulletproof. And
Rundown was good.
Rundown,
like
he was
Rundown.
good in Rundown.
And then what did he do after that? Back to American Pie.
Because that, unfortunately, yeah. He's been like,
that's a pure type.
It can be hard when you. I mean, like Ashton Kutcher. Kutcher tried for a little while. He tried going in like the action direction, but at the same time, it was an action direction / comedy. So it's like,
yeah, you can appreciate. The only one that I think did it well was Chris
Perfectly.
Evans.
That's
because another teen movie, another.
You know who else did it well, but like it's his now. It's just it's his personality. Ryan Reynolds, because throughout his entire career, he has never had to act. He just acts like Ryan Reynolds now, and that's it. He's good.
The sad part is, why can I just perfectly picture being like, where are you at playing your career? Well, it's fun because now I get to just be myself on set, but just say things I wouldn't normally say. And I get paid, Bubba. So everything's awesome. Everything's great.
Ryan fucking Van Wilder.
Yes. You know what? Actually made a good transition now. What was his name? Oh my god, I can't remember his name. From Dodgeball. He was the kid that was getting hit in the head with the wrenches, and then he was also in
Justin Long.
Justin Long.
Yep.
Because he made his way, and then he started doing horror movies, and he's better in horror than he is in.
He does great in horror.
What was the one? Was it Barbarian? No.
Drag Me to Hell. He's in it. If I'm not mistaken, he's in it, but he doesn't like play a big part in it.
That one with the house, the
yes.
Airbnb,
yes,
the basement.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
I think that was the Barbarian. Like there was the mother.
I need to watch that.
Like that was
yeah. Justin Long.
I know exactly what you're talking about too, but I can't like place the name.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of actors like that. Like, I feel bad for Daniel Radcliffe, right? Like you're Harry Potter forever. Like you'll never not be Harry Potter. Like you.
Well, it's funny because you've seen all of them do that too. Like Emma Watson.
Nope, she's Emma Watson now. She's not Hermione. She's Emma Watson.
Rupert.
Oh, she's really like branched out.
She's branched out.
I was gonna say she's branched out more, but I wasn't sure as to what degree.
Perks of Being a Wallflower was fucking one of the best in the indie films I've ever seen.
You're not wrong. Rupert Grint has kind of tried to.
Yeah, now he's just
yeah, but he was in an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Rupert is now Ed Sheeran.
The cabin in the like the cabin in the woods, not the cabin in the woods, but like there's like it's with Dave Bautista.
The End of the World one.
They're like it's the End of the World one is like there's just a cabin in the woods. It's not the cabin in the woods, but something similar to that. But it's just they portray the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
That actually sounds kind of badass.
Apparently,
look that up.
This gay couple with their child, they have to kill one of them to save the world, or if they don't, the world ends or something. I forget the synopsis, but it's just like, what M. Night? What the fuck?
It's not Shyamalan, dude. What do you expect?
It was a weird movie. It wasn't bad, but it was just weird. Just weird. But let's wrap this up here. I don't want to take too much of your time. I know I told you about an hour and a half, and we've been pretty much here for about an hour and a half or so. So seriously, thank you for coming on the show and chit-chatting with me and Copper. I know Copper was supposed to be a surprise, but we had technical issues. Always on the show. There's not, again, we're going to have 20 episodes this season, and not a single episode didn't have technical difficulties. That's my life. So that means y'all motherfuckers need to watch more of the show, put the shit on repeat so I can finally get fucking paid and fix this shit.
Actually, that reminds me.
Good. Fuck y'all. I need money. Damn it.
That reminds me. Does the whole Spotify bullshit affect you? Did you hear about all that?
What's happening in Spotify? What I miss?
The whole thing where we'll talk after.
I have no idea.
Spotify.
Oh God.
I am tired of the same ads.
No shit.
I don't care.
No shit.
God.
You guys hear ads?
Damn. Navy Federal. That's great. Being chased by penguins. And then, as long as it gets me my 30 minutes of free ad-free music. God
I
damn
pay
it.
for Spotify.
I swear, every time you get animated, I want to call up every motherfucker I know who works within or even like close to people within the world of animation and be like, homie, if you don't know him, you need to. And don't worry about casting. Don't worry about casting. I found you your dude. It's him.
See, that's also another thing where I'm like, I put out these sounds and I'm expecting, I kind of like, maybe it's a bit too much to be expect, but I'm like, somebody animate them. So a big like TikTok animator, like get a hold of it and they could do well with it. But I'm like, I feel like, you know, do me, dome, D-O-M-E, dome.
Well, so, and I literally tell anyone who will listen, whenever anyone mentions podcasting, like my Patreon is kind of where my podcast is. In the very next breath, I talk about this show and I try to push people towards Zaga as much as possible. Now knowing that that's the direction that you want to move in, the audiobook narration world is very much its own thing, and it's an absolutely wonderful, beautiful community. But a lot of these people do know each other or talk to each other. And I have no problem being like, well, have you seen this guy? In case he fits what you're looking for, you might want to reach out to him. Just throwing that out there.
Do you know that great gentleman, Patrick? He was like one of the OG TikTok like guys.
I feel like I know exactly who you're talking about, but for some reason I don't.
He has a clothing line, or it's either his clothing line or he works for the company.
Yep.
And he works with what other creator he does, Danny Phantom.
Yes.
What's his name? I forget his name. He's really good looking. He actually looks like Superman, kind of. But yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
he also does
Oh,
narration
yeah.
as well.
All right.
Or audiobooks.
Oh, yeah.
When I heard about that, I was like, ooh, but yeah.
It's just a world of getting, man. And again, it gets, when you blow up as a voice actor, no one sees your fucking face. So you can actually walk out and be in public. Shit, if I don't wear a hat outside, people don't know who the fuck I am.
Unless you're Tara Strong.
Dude, the freaking chick, the chick that voiced Tommy Pickles, the voice of my childhood. I didn't realize it was a chick until she saw TikTok, and I'm like, wait a second.
Tara Strong. Tara Strong.
She's actually a sweetheart, too. She's one of the sweetest people you ever meet.
Oh,
she's awesome.
Bet.
See, I don't do voice acting. I don't do any of that. I know I'm going to be getting into content creation this summer because we're taking a 6-month hiatus from the show. So this is a lot of information for me to gather because I've never dabbled into like, I just take what we do here, put it into AI, and it gives me TikToks. That makes my life way easier. Now I
know what we need to do.
Now I got to do this and be like, what the fuck am I saying?
We need to film a PSA about washing your rice, like a government ad of like, you know, they'll get a bunch of celebrities together to all talk about something. We need to do a PSA of washing your fucking rice.
We are the future.
If you could get an Amber Alert saying so-and-so did not wash their rice, hunt them down in the next 30 minutes or the whole world will be flooded with short grain sushi rice.
I say we gather, 50 content creators and we just redo a rendition of We Are the World, but it's We Wash Our Rice. I can write the lyrics for that. Actually, AI could just write the lyrics for it.
God damn it. Technology. Oh, technology.
Listen, you said earlier you're a lazy motherfucker. I'm a lazy motherfucker too. AI makes my life so happy with this podcast, or else I probably would have quit a long time ago.
I think I need to start utilizing those like things because like I recently saw a guy talk about that where he like, you guys want to know the secret about college? You know how to get through college? He's using all this AI shit, all of it to write his essays and all like to proof check at the same time. He said all that while also being like, if you're interested in learning more or following up on a subject, he's like, you could do this and this, which showed that he does utilize the tools. At the same time, he's not lazy. He's still going to pursue what he finds interesting, which is like, that's a thing that I think a lot of the younger viewers are going to miss the just
go right over their head. Yeah. And I think that's the thing is that like a friend of mine who's a teacher says that like, she asked like her class, I forget what grade they were in, but it's like a young grade, like 4th graders, 5th graders. And like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And a lot of them, it's somewhere within social media or acting or whatever. And even she's asked, and a lot of them were like, it's easy. You just like do this and this and this, and then you make like millions of dollars. And it's like, it's not exactly how that works.
If it was,
I wish
everybody would be joining.
Yeah. Well,
every Barbie like is $1.
No, it's only.
I'd be
right. But I think it's like, you know, it kind of goes to your point where like even from like the content creation aspect of it, it's, you know, like we said earlier, we can do something that takes like a whole day of like filming, getting it right, editing, this, that. And a couple people see it. You do something where you scream at your phone for 30 seconds and all of a sudden it has like 1 million fucking views. Like it's not this straight line path to things.
Yep.
So, but it's also a matter of using your resources along with it. Like, yes, there's the creativity aspect of it, but it's the creativity aspect of it, planning it out, having knowledge on a bunch of different things, like being I hate to use this, but jack of all trades, so that it's not like, oh, cool, he does the same thing all the goddamn time. Like, you do different shit all the time. You know, you don't just have, yes, you've managed to wash your rice, stretch out for a long time, but it's not like that's the only thing you do. You do a whole bunch of different shit, and it works because that one thing hooks people, and then they find out more, and they find out more. It's almost like finding out lore in a video game. Like, yeah, they know it's a horror game, and then as they find out lore, they're like, well, wait, what else is there? And they keep finding more and more and more shit. So, but it is hard. It's weird because like you can bust your ass, and you are at the whims of the algorithm, AI, people's very short attention span. It's odd.
Malaysian bots. Malaysian bots. I think that I had a surplus of 8 Malaysian bots at the beginning of my TikTok career. For some reason, there was like 5,000 Malaysian bots that followed me or something, and that kind of boosted me for some odd reason. Okay, it wasn't like 5,000, maybe like 2,000, but I was like, what the? They're all numbers. They were all numbers.
Now, what do you mean by
I clicked one, and they just followed my account at the beginning. Like, right. This was like
2020.
I had like zero. When I had like 10 followers, and then it just fucking like, I was just, what the fuck is going on? Now it wasn't like all at once. It was like sprinkled, but I was just like, what are these numbers? Who are these people? And I clicked on it, and it was like, I was like curious. I'm like, location, Malaysia. What the? I was scared. I was a little nervous because I thought I was gonna be like one of those accounts like got the influx and then banned or like. But at the same time, that makes me wonder like how many of my followers
are actual people.
Are like, they're all NPCs.
I wonder that.
See, this is why I'm going to stick behind the camera, write scripts, and try to be. I feel like my direction is more. I'm better behind the scenes at this point because I just know too much. I do all the production, camera, video, sound, all that stuff already. And you know what? Then I don't got to worry about like you said, walking out in public. You know me personally. I don't like people. I work in sales, so when I come home, I'm done. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to deal with nobody. So when I go in public, like I have a hat that says 666 across it because I want people to park like the fucking Red Sea when I am walking by because I don't want to be. I don't want to talk to you.
I was still gonna forget the time we were in Salem and like someone recognized me. It was real quick, and then someone else recognized me, and it was real quick, and then someone else recognized me. And Ellie is like, "Okay, he's mine. Thank you."
And all the while, dude, so Jeremy, so real talk. We went the first time me and him ever like really hung out. We were in Salem, Massachusetts, meeting some fans and hanging out with them. And like he kept getting stopped. They're like, "Oh, can we take a picture? Take a picture?" And I'm thinking to myself, I would fucking snap, yo. Like I'm gonna do it from the Bronx. Like I would get the fuck out of my face, bro. What the fuck? I don't fucking take a picture. What the fuck are you? You know what I mean? It's weird. Depends. I don't know.
There's a context. Yeah. And it's weird. It doesn't happen very often. But then like when it does happen, it's never just one. It's like there's 3 that day or 4 that day.
I mean,
this has never happened to me, so I don't know.
And like I'm still like I've gotten better at interacting because they're just usually like because I'm also noticing like a lot of my followers, I'm just like they're a little bit like on the like introverted side. They're a little bit shy and timid, so they will recognize me, but I will be like with a group talking, and then I feel the eyes, and I'm just like
somewhere.
I feel the gaze, and I'm like, and I make eye contact, and I'm not going to push myself out. I'm gonna be like, I'm putting them in their like I'm putting them out of their comfort zone. I'm like, if you recognize me, and if you want to interact, I'm gonna have to ask you, or not ask you, but like, you have to make the first step. You have to give me the treat. Like here. Not like that. Not literally. Don't be like, here's some rice. Come and get it.
The streets throwing rice at you like you had a wedding.
No. But I'm like, if fans sees me, they usually are like that, a little timid, and then they kind of walk up and like, are you the? I'm like, yes, and they're like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, okay. But yeah, depending, like certain fan interactions are very fun or very heartwarming. At the same time, I recently went to the Ren Fair, and this was a weird kind of interaction because I saw that there's a group of kids.
Wait, which Ren Fair did
young
you go
adults.
Because I go to the one in New York all the time.
I was in Atlanta visiting Danny. The Danny. Danny. Yeah, I was visiting Danny to make some content, and we went to the Ren Fair. And there was a group of like young adults, teens, whatever. And I'm pretty sure they recognized me, and I was like, that's fine. But I was like, we lost some people in our group, and so I went to kind of like search. I'm looking, and then one of the members, I think, was chosen to like go interact with. Yeah. But they didn't do it in a way that was like, hey, are you that person? I'm like, they didn't do that. They just came up to me and was like, wash your rice. And I was just like, okay. And then I kept on walking, and then I hear them screaming, I did it, guys! I did it! And I was just like, what did you do? One, that I might have not been that guy. And you could have been one of the biggest racists. That's also another thing that people are very hesitant about, approaching me, because they're like, we don't want to be racist because, we don't want to assume every Asian guy with long hair is the wash your rice guy. And I'm like, I understand. And then I kind of poke fun at them, like, you're fucking racist. But like, there are certain ways to approach like your how fans approach. And I'm like, I feel like that way of doing it was like, it kind of bothered me a little bit.
I can imagine.
Because I was just like, what did you accomplish there? Like, oh, you impressed your friends by touching an Asian guy.
Well, I think they have this like built up thing of like they have the caricature view of you where they're gonna yell it and then you're gonna yell it back, and then it's gonna be all cool, and all of a sudden you're gonna be all buddy where it's like, dude, we're normal people and shit like that. Like, we do normal life shit. I've been lucky in that a lot of times people who like notice me or whatever, they'll come up to me and they'll be like, hi, I'm really sorry. Quick question. Are you on TikTok? I'll be like, yes, ma'am. That's me. They'll be like, oh my God, I watched this and this. Or like the very first girl who actually recognized me ran up to me crying. And I'm like, oh no. And I was at the airport, and she's crying, and she's like, I'm really sorry. Are you on TikTok? I'm like, yes, ma'am. Are you okay? And it went to a whole thing of a friend of hers was going through a lot of mental health, and I helped her laugh and stuff like that. So that was literally the very first person that I ever had recognize me in public, was someone who was like, your videos literally saved my friend's life. She's crying, I'm crying. The bartender starts crying. Awesome, the bartender starts pouring shots. But most people are cool about it. There are sometimes, though, where I get like that, yeah, in the background somewhere, and I'm like, cool, good for you. I'm like,
see,
you want a cookie?
Maybe that's the thing. I don't have a gimmick, right? Like, I mean, you're not a really.
I don't even say fucking yeehaw. So.
Yours isn't even a gimmick, but like you have like the cowboy persona, right? And like his skit of the wash your rice, like it's kind of like it's a symbol for you guys. People will just be throwing like fucking ball holes at me. Things. I'm just an asshole. That's my persona on the internet. All I do is roast my friends, and when they come up.
With cheese, Mr. Squidward, an asshole with cheese.
I get that a lot too. Like, where's your hat? I'm like, first off, I'm inside, or I'm at mama's house, or I'm inside a restaurant or whatever. Like, it doesn't stay on my head 24/7.
You know what? That's
and what I'm like, yes, if you see me walking around with it, cool. But
you know what?
I'm a man of many different hats, and like, do I generally wear one when I'm outside? Yes. That is not the only thing I fucking wear, and that's not the only thing I fucking do.
No, see,
I was in a Starbucks.
sorry, no.
Yeah.
I want to blame him. See, this is why the show's not doing great, because you don't wear the hat on the goddamn show. That's why they scroll across these TikToks like, I don't know who the fuck this is. Sabotaging.
Well, like I was in a Starbucks. I think I posted on my story, and one of the comments was like, "Why aren't you yelling?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Why aren't you screaming?"
It's the whole thing.
Like, are you freaking
It's literally
kidding
the whole
me?
like dance monkey dance like mentality of like just do your thing. That like I know you as just do that and nothing else. It's like okay, well that's nice for you.
You want
Yeah.
monkey?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, with that being said, Jeremy, thank you for coming on the show, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been fun. I haven't laughed this hard on a fucking show in forever. Like we were fucking
Neither
down.
am
I think I'm funny, and then like hearing you command just conversations, you fucking kill it all the time, dude.
A little pee came out just now.
I wouldn't lie if I said my butthole didn't pucker a little bit.
No
Well, what an
comment.
episode. We learned that Copper does, in fact, shave his butthole. And he doesn't want to be known as just the angry rice guy. He wants his name is Jeremy, and you put some goddamn respect on his name.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The utter fucking delivery of yeah, please, if you don't mind.
But no, seriously, man, truly,
dude,
thank you.
No, dude, I'm just happy as shit that I actually got to like finally meet you and like have a bit of a conversation. Like this was cool as shit for me. When he told me that you were going to be on the show, I was like, yes.
This is the first step before IRL.
Yes.
This is what I like to do, though. I like to, like, if I friend you or, like, we become mutuals on TikTok, I try and see if you're in the area or if I'm going somewhere and you happen to be there at the same location, I want to meet IRL. That's all I'm like. I don't just have mutuals. I don't just have people that I'm like, oh, I only know them through TikTok. No, I know that I've met them in real life. They're cool, awesome, wholesome people. So this is our first step.
I'm down, dude.
First
like
date.
even when Jacques the Whipper. Like
yeah, I need to meet him.
He is such a good man to be around. And it was funny because like he suggested it and like we met him for that one time and he taught me some like whipping in the backyard and stuff like that. And that turned into like, I'm not saying we talk every day, but like I check on it and it's not because of like, hey man, for our next video, just be like, hey boss, I heard you're traveling a lot. I'm just checking in on you, see how you're doing. He's like, oh shit, man, good. And like we talk as just people. Like not everything has to be centered around the content. And he's just a good dude. Like he's just a good man. And he's fucking tall.
Because that's what the community is about, man. That's what our mutuals are about. We're not gonna be like, we're all be like, you doing good? Drink water. Stay out of trouble.
Drink water. Drink water.
Choices.
Read your Bible. That's Poppy.
Your Bible. Basic instructions before leaving Earth.
How I'm sorry. How was I today years old when that's the first time I've ever actually heard that acronym?
You need to watch The Love Guru.
Mike Myers.
With,
Mike Myers. Okay.
Mike Myers. Yeah. TM.
Well, so Jeremy, I called you so Jeremy. Jeremy,
Trigger.
Sign off. Say goodbye to the people. They're clearly going to be. They're coming to watch because of you and Cop.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the Nifa Pod. These two beautiful gentlemen that it looks like I'm hand puppeting them. Yeah, right now. But yeah, wash your rice more than twice until the water is clear. This guy have to piss so bad right now. But yeah.
How do you do that without tearing your voice apart? Because every time I yell, I feel like I tear my voice apart. That's why I'm all down and sultry like here, because I can't do that shit. I'll tear my voice apart.
I was a swimmer. So the pool that I grew up with, we had a bubble. You know those like tennis courts that have built a bubble on top of it? We had that over.
Yeah, I taught scuba classes and something like that. So,
and sometimes the lifeguards fucked up the chlorine, and also the ventilation wasn't the best. So essentially, you had
mustard gas,
like 10 to 6. Yeah, basically. So one time it was so bad that all the kids were coughing, but me and my oldest brother were like, "We're fine." And coach is like, no, everyone needs to. We're like, Coach, we practice. He's like, you guys need rest. We're like, we can rest when we're dead. And he's like, no. The like freaking levels are horrible. But like my brother and I like we joked around. Well, like we've developed.
I was just gonna say you have like those iron lungs, iron vocal cords, just.
But also, like when you're underwater, no one knows when you're crying, and no one can kind of not hear you. Because after a hard day of class in college, I'd be like, jump in the pool and just go. And then my coach would be like, what was that noise? I'm like, nothing. It's nothing. Are you crying? No, I just got water in my eye. Literally. So yeah.
The chlorine is just like really high content. No.
Yeah, no, I've just been a smoker for the last fucking, I don't know, 15 years of my life. So my lungs are just damaged as they are. So I can scream at top lung and never phase me. I also played a lot of sports, and that's what you do on the sideline. You just scream. And I'm a Yankee fan, so you scream at Yankees. All right, but Copper, say your goodbyes.
All right. Boss man, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so glad I got to finally meet you. Tony, as always, glad to be here. Love you. I'm not wearing fucking sparkles at your wedding, and the wife said so.
Yeah, she called you Jacob because you're a puppy dog, and you just follow instructions. Woo! Damn.
Ellie.
Fight!
Ellie, when you're watching this later, we're gonna have a talk.
Just
anyway.
Mic drop. Just like that. The wifey came in.
But for those of y'all, this is your first episode ever seeing the NFA pod. Go watch all the other ones. Come on, man. Go watch all the other ones.
I promise you, the other ones are a little bit more constructed, and I'm not as baked as I am tonight.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Liar!
Okay, I'm usually more baked than I am today, so it's even better. All right. Seriously, though, thank you both for being here. I mean, Copper, you have to be here. My wife told you. Jeremy. Jeremy, thank you, man. Truly. Obviously, you don't have to be here. We're a very small show, not that popular. Most professional podcast you will ever see, though, visually and sounding. I will be. I do. I will take that. I'll take my wins. Hey, listen, man. I gotta take my wins where I can get them. If I get 5 comments, I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. People are loving it. Yes. All right. But,
we need to go have another casino night and bring him with us.
Oh fuck.
Oh no. I suck at.
Oh, we don't actually do any fucking gambling.
He doesn't do.
Okay,
gambling.
good.
I'm the bad. Well, that's the bad Asian trait I have. I love gambling.
Oh gosh, I will only gamble at Dave & Buster's with the Charlie Chocolate Factory card game little thing. Like, I like another bottle. Okay, I gotta piss. Right. I'm sorry.
Oh, bro. Everything will be coming. I love y'all for watching. I'm out of here. Peace.